Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel for Juls Creations. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful custom-made beaded chain necklace. This particular necklace also uses the paper pyramid beads, which are in my prior video tutorial on how to make pyramid beads. But you can use any beads you like for this tutorial. This video can also be applied to any beaded necklace and hopefully add to your own jewelry making techniques. In this tutorial, we'll cover adding a lobster claw clasp and jump rings to the main part of the chain, then creating a beaded section and adding that to our chain to complete the necklace. Here's a master list of all the supplies you'll need for this beautiful necklace. You'll need some round needle nose pliers, some wire cutters, optionally some flat pliers, and some scissor clamps. You'll also want something to keep our beads from rolling around while we're arranging them, so you can use a piece of fabric or a felt board, or my personal favorite, a beading tray. And I'll show you more on that later. You'll also need about 4 inches of beads of your choice. And if you're using the paper beads or any other main beads, you'll want to choose assorted beads to accent them by color and texture. And you can use colored beads, silver beads, crystal beads to add glimmer, whatever you want. And for our beaded section, we'll need about a foot of beaded string wire that is about 0.018 inch in width, and 20 inches of silver color chain, a lobster claw clasp, 2 crimp beads, and 4 silver 5mm jump rings. So let's get started by arranging our beads in the order we want them for our necklace. And this is the beading board I mentioned earlier. It's not required. You can use some fabric or felt. It's really up to you. But you'll want to lay down something rather than a hard surface so the beads don't roll around off the table while you're trying to work with them. The nice thing with the beading tray is it gives you these nice grooves to lay out your beads without them rolling all over the place, and these little pockets where you can put a pile of beads or your findings, the things that you think you might use, and then just play around with it however you want. And they're pretty inexpensive. Again, it is just an option. So to start our necklace, we have 20 inches of chain, and we're going to divide this in half. So take our chain and line it up at the ends and figure out where the middle is. When I pick up the chain, I use my thumbnail to mark where the middle is so that I know where to cut it. Then we use our wire cutters and cut the middle. And just pick up the little pieces that broke off and toss them. Now the jump rings are basically a circle with one cut in it, which you see here. So we're going to clamp our scissor clamps at a right angle to that cut. Then we grab our flat pliers and we pinch the opposite side of our scissor clamps and gently twist to open the jump ring. Then we take the end of our chain, that last link, and hook it onto the jump ring. Then we take our pliers and grab that side again, and this time we're going to twist the other way to close the jump ring back. Pretty easy. Most important thing, put your fingernail on that cut edge. Just make sure that it's closed all the way, because if it's not, the chain can slide out of that cut edge, and that would not be good if someone is wearing your chain. Okay, so now we do this on the other piece of chain as well. Clamp the scissor clamps on the jump ring at a right angle to the cut. Use our flat pliers, twist the side open, slide on the chain. And now this time we're also going to slide on the lobster claw clasp. And then close up the jump ring. Use our thumbnail to check the opening. Take the pliers and just adjust it if needed so that it's straight. Okay, we're good. And then we can hook our lobster claw onto the other chain, and that is the chain portion of our necklace. Now let's work on our beaded section, and we have our beads all arranged how we want them. This is what I came up with, and I selected some beads in the colors that'll accent the colors of my main beads, which are my pyramid beads. So this is crystal, this is a metallic bead, wooden bead, a glass bead, just kind of a mix. I like to do big and little, smooth and sharp, just to get a good variety, but you can lay out your beads however you wish. And if you are using the pyramid beads, you'll notice there's only one edge with a seam, although it's kind of hard to see when you glaze it. It kind of covers it up. But you can put that seam towards the back and then you'll never see it at all. Okay, so let's estimate about a foot of beading string and cut it with our wire cutters. And it doesn't have to be exact. And then just set that to the side. And the beads will be strung onto this section, and then that section will be attached to the chain portion we did earlier. In order to start this, we start with a crimping bead. Just slide it on, and then double the wire back into the crimping bead again to make a loop. Then grab and hold the two wires together at the bottom and slide the crimping bead up till we get the loop in the size we want. And I want to get a fairly small loop so it's not attracting attention. And when you get it in place, we take our flat pliers and pinch them down into the crimping bead to squish it down. And that crimping bead is going nowhere. So we have this little tail, and let's just cut it down to about an inch long. And then we take our beads one at a time in the order we put them in and start sliding them on. We'll start with about the first inch worth of beads. So that inch of bead goes on your wire and slides over both the wire and the tail. So that covers up the tail, you'll never see it. Now we finish stringing the rest of our beads on. Almost done. And now we do the same loop we did here, but on the other end. So again, we use our crimping bead and slide it on, double the wire back through the crimping bead, and we also want to push it through about an inch into the beads before you pinch the crimping bead down. When you see the end of the tail, you can pull it tighter till the loop is the size you want. Now you want to be close to the necklace, but not so tight that the necklace doesn't bend. A little bit of slack there. So pinch the crimping bead tight, and that is not going anywhere either. And then we can use our wire cutters carefully not to cut the main wire and just snip off the tail end that's sticking out. And voila, the wires are hidden and it has a little slack so it can bend and it's ready to attach to our chain. Then to attach it to the chain, we just take our jump ring, find the cut edge, clamp our scissor clamps at a right angle, use our pliers to open the ring, and then we slide our chain, just the last link of the chain, and then slide on our little loop and close it up. And it's really important that it's tight because otherwise that thin wire can slip right out. Test it with your fingernail and just make sure there's no opening there. And then even gently try to pull the wire through the cut edge of the jump ring just to make sure it won't slip out. Then we do the same on the other side. Find the cut on our jump ring, pinch our scissor clamps on the right angle, grab our pliers, twist it open, slide on the bead portion and the chain's last link in whatever order you want. And then twist it closed again with our flat pliers. And I always pinch it at the top as well, just to make sure that both of the sides of the jump ring are level. Test it with your fingernail. Test that the wire doesn't slide through. And now we have our beautiful finished necklace. Isn't that pretty? Here are also some tips to consider. Choose the main center bead or a charm or a pendant piece, and then choose a complementary bead to go on each side of the center bead. Separate the beads about an inch apart, and then fill it in with other beads that complement the colors and styles. Add more beads to make the sections as long as you like. And then craft stores have a huge variety of beads from glass, wood, crystal, etc. You can add beads to give your necklace contrast in color and size, shiny glimmer, variety in shapes, or you can also add little charms instead. There's a ton of options available to you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I'll be making more soon. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or ideas on a video you'd like to see, feel free to leave a comment below. And subscribe if you'd like to be notified when I release any new videos. There's also a link below to all of my Juls Creations links that you can check out. Enjoy and never be bored.